Hello, good morning. My name is Shawala, and I welcome you to Sunday Morning Dose. Sunday Morning Dose is where we discuss God's word from the perspective of Christ. And this morning, I'm seriously angry. I'm angry, actually. Wow, where do we start from? Peaceful protest is no longer acceptable in a democratic system. Youth or people generally, because it's not just about the youth. The people are dissatisfied with some of the government decisions, and they decided to express their dissatisfaction in a peaceful way, in a legal backed way, in a constitutional way that every and any responsible citizen should use. And guess what? In Nigeria, because we have monsters at the place of leadership, monsters who don't know A from B, monsters who don't know how to read, monsters who are greedy, extremely greedy, and to the point of being wicked right now. We have them as state governors and we have them as president. They descended on these peaceful protesters, monsters, like I said, using the police force. Of course, what do you expect from someone taking order from monsters? He will become a monster also. So they took order from these monsters at the top, and they descended on peaceful protesters. They handled them, they beat them, and they emulate them. Talking about emulation, was a serious emulation. It was a serious emulation. And here is a democratic system of government. Wow. And we would say that this is a democratic system of government. Of course, this is not a democratic system of government. There is nobody that should convince themselves that this is a democratic system of government. This is zoo. This is a zoo. This is a shit hole. And made it from the so-called ones we called leaders. Yesterday, I became presidentless. Like, I have no president anymore. And for people in Lagos State, I think they should know by now that they have no governor in office. Irresponsible leadership at the toppest level. Irresponsible. Very irresponsible at any capacity you could think of. Very irresponsible. So I know some of you will be disappointed in them, but I am not really disappointed. I'm not really disappointed. I am not disappointed that they are behaving like who they are. I'm just, maybe if I am a bit disappointed, I would say, not to the point, not to this level, I would, because why, you would ask me, why is it that I'm not disappointed? Because I've seen such cases even with the people that are so-called God's people. I have seen bad and terrible leadership even in church. So why would the unbeliever, the so-called unbelievers, will scare me? It won't. So if the model is not right, if we cannot portray a positive leadership with an example from the church, where will it come from? Where will the unbeliever learn? So the same leadership, thuggery leadership, ulamic leadership that you and I have exposed ourselves to in church is the same. That's why I would not be disappointed. And that is the more reason that I think you and I as a Christian should be more angry. We should be more angry because the hoodlums on pulpit cannot correct the hoodlums in political office. They both know each other. They both know they are hoodlums. They intimidate, they humiliate, they even beat in some cases. Yes, in some cases. So I am not disappointed. Coming from the hoodlumic setting of the church setting, I can't be disappointed with the hoodlums in the political office. I can't be disappointed. I will be playing a double-sided individual to say that what these political talks are doing is alarming, and not to talk about the pulpit talks. All of them, the pulpit talks, what they are doing, how they siphon people's money, how they misbehave to people, and how they don't even care about the followers' struggles. They don't care. They don't care. To them, business is as usual. Once today's Sunday, they are expecting you in church to come and give your offering and your tithe. And then they bamboozle you with some stupid messages. And then business continues as usual. To them, nothing happened yesterday. But are we not the salt of the world? Should the scripture of where Christ described us as the light not begins to get you bothered? Think about it as a Christian, as a Christ-like now, not as the charlatans followers. Should it not bother us that we are in a community where our impact is zero? Our impact is zero. As a matter of fact, we are not the model people should look up to. We are the model they should run away from. There is no servant leadership. There is no people interest. It's not about others. It's about you and yourself alone. That kind of gospel and message will bring us here. Come to think of it, the governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, is a Christian. Unfortunately. The vice president of Nigeria, Oshibanjo, is a Christian. He's even a pastor. Should this not get us bothered? So if this does not get you bothered as a Christian, I don't know who you follow. I don't know. You're probably not following Christ. Trust me. So let's share this. Matthew 14, verse 15. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." Send the crowd away. Just like they are going to send you out of their premises once they finish collecting your offering and your tithe this morning. Send the crowd away, Peter is telling them. So this is not an unfamiliar tactic. It's a familiar tactic about leadership that doesn't care about you. It's a familiar tactic of leadership that would use you and dump you. It's not unfamiliar. This is what Peter also have been used to for the past 20 or 30 years of their life. So they thought Jesus is like them too. But hear what Jesus had to say. Jesus shocked them. Jesus told them in verse 16. Jesus replied, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." They do not need to go away. If the charlatan you are calling your pastor is not saying anything about your struggle, what a pity. And you're still following that charlatan. What a pity. So we are in a so where would the help come from? If not the church, if not Christ, if not Christ likes, where will it come from? Think about it. You think it will come from the monster you called the president, or it will come from the monsters in political settings. No, 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 no. If the change would happen, of course, the charlatans that are on the pulpit already are not willing. They are not with Christ in the first place. They are not willing. If the change will happen, Christians will have to arise. When I mean Christians, I don't mean Christians who are practitioners. I mean Christians who are Christ-like in heart and in deed. I don't mean the ones who go to church like this morning. I'm supposed to teach on capacity building. What are we teaching? What capacity are we teaching if the fundamental human right to express itself is trampled on? What are we preaching? How will God lift you if the system in your environment has caged you? There is no amount of blessing that will come to a slave that will make him prosperous in a slavery environment. The first place of testimony for a slave is to gain freedom. So I'm not interested in teaching anything that will cage you, will even cage you, because you are a slave already, and you are a slave to these charlatans if you don't do something about them. So I leave you with this. If Nigeria must change, who do you think will change it? Who? Of course, don't expect the help from the monsters. So demand, if you still follow them, demand the responsibility to feed the people, to be concerned about what people are concerned about. And if they are not, it's two ways. If they are not, simply unfollow them. If they are not willing, simply unfollow them. And I know they will not be, because they are cowards. Cowards on the pulpit. They impose fear on you and you think they have power. They are cowards. So, this is not the day. This is not the morning. This is not a country yet. But we are not giving up on it. I personally, Shewa Ilara, is not giving up on Nigeria now. The capacity of God in me and the Christ in me will bring about change. And this is not just mere rhetorics. This is not just mere faith. That is why I'm doing this morning. That's why I'm speaking and I'm addressing the monsters in the political office as a monster and not as leaders. They are not leaders, they are monsters. And we must get to that point where we do the basic. Speak. No matter what cost it will come with. Speak. A monster will treat you bad and expect you not to speak. And you keep quiet. You are a coward if you do. I am not. Shewa Ilara is not. A Christian, a Christ-like is not a coward. So this morning, don't be a coward. Speak to your oppressors. Your oppressors have expiry date. They know. It's the day you stop taking their orders. And I, Shewa Ilara, have stopped taking their orders long ago. And I'm challenging you to stop taking the orders this morning. Thank you.